everyone. We're going to go ahead and finish up the 7.2 notes. We did this over 2 days, which would have been Thursday and Friday. On Thursday, we did examples 1 through 6, all the way to creating a table and graphing those. And today we are going to work on example number 7. So for example number 7, the first thing I'm going to suggest is considering that part that I think takes about the most odd man work, that one part, the x-intercept. So I'm going to do that after I identify everything that I can find just by looking at it. So given our equation, y equals 1 over x plus 5 plus 4, what I know right away just by looking at it is the vertical asymptote, and that is x equals -5. I know the horizontal asymptote, which is y equals 4. Make sure that you include that x and that y there, otherwise it's just a number without meaning. So when we're talking about the asymptote, that's the entire x line of -5. The y-intercept, when I want to find the y-intercept, I'm going to make x 0 and we're going to find y. When we want the x-intercept, we're going to make y 0 so we can find x. The domain, we can use the vertical asymptote because domain relates to x. So we can use a vertical asymptote for this one. And we've got -infinity up to -5, as well as -5 up to +infinity. Okay. For the range, we've got -infinity, and this is the y values here. So put that there. These are the y values that go along with the horizontal asymptote. -infinity, and then it'll increase to 4. And then from there, it'll also start again at 4 and go up to, or just the opposite side of 4, I should say. It doesn't touch 4. On the opposite side, are just not greater than 4. It's like 4.1, 4.2, 5, 6, any of those numbers, and up to +infinity. Let's go ahead then, and what else can I do here that's really easy? Well, using the vertical asymptote, I'm going to go ahead and start with our table. We're going to put the vertical asymptote value here. That's going to help us center the graph. 3 numbers larger than it, so -6, -7, backwards, that's -4. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. It doesn't matter which order you put it in. The big one is have the vertical asymptote there. So -5, -4, -3, and -2. Those numbers are larger than -5. Again, it wouldn't have mattered if you would have started at -8 and -2 on the bottom. Either way, this is going to work out. Now, going ahead and using the calculator or using your Desmos calculator, whichever that you use. In class, we actually use the calculator that we have available. We took y over 1 equals, for the x value, we plugged in -2. Then we have +5, simplified that fraction, and then added it to 4. Okay, so -2 plus 5 makes 3, so we did 1 divided by 3 plus 4, and that will give me 4.3 repeating. Then we said, okay, let's do that again, but this time instead of -2, let's use the next x value that we have. We erased that -2, we replaced it with -3. We did 1 over -3 plus 5, and then added 4 to that value, and we've got out 4.5. Then we replaced our input, or the x value, with -4. So 1 over 1 is 1, plus 4 gives us 5. This next step helps us to identify that we're doing our step right because we know that the vertical asymptote will be undefined. So we went ahead though and we checked it on our calculator anyway, and we said what happens when we do -5 plus 5? That gives us 0. 1 divided by 0 is undefined, and that's where we get that value from. Can never plot anything on that actual asymptote. So then we said, all right, let's finish this up. Let's go ahead and erase that -5 and put -6 there. We used our calculators to calculate that, and we got +3. Same thing with -7, and we got out 3.5. And very last time that we did this, we got out 3.6 repeating. All right, now that we've got all that information, we figured we still need to find the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is just like any other. We're plugging in 0 in for x to find that y value. Okay, so we're going to have 1 over. We're going to have 1 over 5, which gives us 1/5. Okay, so if you have that calculator with you, you can just do that. You can just do 1 parentheses, 0 plus 5, but we know that's 5. So 1 divided by 5, and then add that to 4. And again, this part here, we don't need it. I just wanted you to see where that came from. Okay. And with that one there, we got 4.2 for the y-intercept. Pen keeps closing out. Okay, the x-intercept. The x-intercept is what's going to take us some steps to find. Can't just easily figure that one out without doing some work. So let's go ahead and do that over here. For y, we're going to replace it with 0. We've got 0 is equal to 1 over x plus 5 plus 4. Subtract 4 from both sides so that we have -4 is equal to 1 over x plus 5. Multiply the -4 with the x plus 5. We've got -4x plus 20 is equal to 1. Subtract 20. That should be a -20 there, sorry. -4 times negative, or times +5 will give me -20. Add 20 to both sides, and I will have -4x is equal to 21. Take 21 and divide it by -4, and we get -5.25 for x. All right, now that we've got all of our values, our x-intercept and our y-intercept and our table of values and the asymptotes, let's go ahead and graph everything that we have. So the vertical asymptote is at x equals -5. The horizontal asymptote is at y equals +4. This is a positive expression. So since it's positive, we should expect that our points are going to be all in this area and this area. If any of our points fall out of those two areas, then we're going to go ahead and go back and figure out what we did wrong. Okay, the y-intercept is at 0, 4.2. The x-intercept is at -5.250. And then our table, -2, 4.3. Oops, that looks a little like the other one. I'm going to move that up just a tad. -2, 4.3. And then -3, 4.5. And -4, 5. Then I've got -6, +3. -7, 3.5, and -8, 3.6. And then we'll go ahead and graph that. Remember, this is one that gets very close to the asymptote, but never ever touches it, never crosses it. Draw arrows at both ends to show that that does continue on. Sorry, my pen keeps changing on me here. And that will be it for our simple rational graph. All right, let me know if you have any questions on this one. After this, you have the quiz that we took just the front side of that page. Again, just let me know if you have any questions.